So in this video, we're going to talk about why some PPCs are curved. Now we can see straight line PPCs. They show a constant opportunity cost. On a curved PPC, such as this one, the opportunity cost is varying along the length of the PPC. So this PPC represents an economy which can make two products. It can make apples and bananas. If it puts all of its resources into producing apples and therefore makes no bananas at all, it can make a total of 20 apples. And also, if it puts all of its resources into growing bananas, it will make no apples and 20 bananas. If the economy puts half of its resources into growing apples and half of its resources into growing bananas, it can grow 14 units of apples and 14 units of bananas. Now that might appear a little bit strange already, because when it was putting all of its resources into apples, it could only make a total of 20 units. And when it was putting all of its resources into bananas, it could only make a total of 20 units. But if it splits its resources between apples and bananas, it can make a total of 14 and 14, 28 units. And that's because it's using the best apple growing land for growing apples and the best banana growing land for growing bananas. So it's using the factors of production which are best suited to apples to grow apples, and the factors of production which are best suited for growing bananas for growing bananas. And therefore its total output increases because it's using or allocating its scarce factors of production in the best possible way. Now, for some reason, the economy has decided it would be a good idea to produce more apples. It knows that it has to give up some bananas in order to do this. There is an opportunity cost involved with increasing the output of apples, and that is the production of bananas that it has to now forego or give up. So it decides to increase its output of apples from 14 to 18. As a result of that, the opportunity cost it suffers from, in terms of the loss of bananas, is banana output falling from 14 to 8. So it has to give up 6 units of bananas to gain just 4 units of apples. And again, that's because it's giving up good banana land to use for growing apples. So it has to give up a lot of bananas in order to get just a few apples, because the land is more suited to growing apples than it is, it's more suited to growing bananas than it is to growing apples. Okay, so let's try that again. So now, in order to increase its output from 18 to 19 bananas, it has to give up 3 units of bananas. It has to reduce its output of bananas from 8 to 5. So it's giving up 3 units of bananas to gain just 1 unit of apples. And again, that's because the resources that it's given up are highly suited to the growth of bananas and much less suited to the growth of apples. So we're using factors of production for their less efficient use, if you like. They would be much better suited to the growth of bananas, but we're sacrificing the banana land in order to grow some more apples. So we have to give up 3 units of bananas to get just 1 unit of apples. And the same process happens if we work the other way. So if we decide to increase our output of bananas, we have to give up a lot of apples to gain just a few bananas. And that becomes more extreme as our output of bananas. Okay, so let me try and summarise that. The reason that the PPC is curved is because it illustrates the concept of increasing opportunity costs. As we increase the output of one product, we know we have to give up units of the other product, and that's the opportunity cost of our decision to increase the output of, for example, apples. As we make more and more apples, we have to give up greater amounts of the alternative. So in order to make 1 more apple, we might have to give up 2 bananas. And then in order to make another apple, we have to give up 3 bananas. And then in order to make yet another apple, we now have to give up 4 or 5 or 6 bananas. So the cost of increasing the output of apples increases as the output of apples increases. I hope that clarifies this rather difficult idea.